Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2 French GDDR5 Premium SPG that we've come to know and love as Fifi La Pew Pew. This one's got a rather colourful camouflage, which is actually from this Christmas, if you've got the latest camouflage. It's located on the north spawn of Halluf, and this one is under the command of Qipp. At least I think that's how you pronounce his name. He sent the replay in and we're definitely going to feature it. Now it's armed with a 105mm light field howitzer, which is actually the same gun as you'll find on the leFH18B2, which is a tier 4 German SPG. It's also the same one that you'll find on the Vespa. Now it's capable of doing... Whoa! First shot, and oh, he gets some damage on the A20. And when he gets some more damage, he's trying to work out where he's headed. He keeps changing course, which makes it difficult to work out where to put the shell. Oh, that nearly hit the Largo instead. Maybe he should aim for that Panzer leFH18B2 or 1C, rather, not 4C. In fact, actually, he has just been killed. Oh, and the A20's gone down. Well, these 105mm rounds will do 410 alpha, penetrating 53mm of armour. I've got a burst radius of 1.91 meters, which means a near miss will probably track a vehicle. Rounds out, looks good. Long flight time for the shell, unfortunately wasn't fully dialed in, and the shell actually hit the rock face instead. Fires another one at the M8A1, but well, it was on target, but the problem was that the enemy had already been killed. Now this is the first of two replays. This is the first one that came in. Ooh, just so close, landed behind the Panzer III Aslains J, who's rushing to get into cover. But of course this Arty is tremendously accurate over long range if it's fully dialed in. Rounds out. Yep, that one hit him. Right in front, he got some splash off the front, 53 hit points, going for a second shot, and this time round it's a kill shot because he took out the, he hit the engine deck, and that tank is out of the game. I'm pretty sure that was a penetrating shot. Now he can probably take off this Panzer IV Ausrung H. Just got fully dialed in now. He did a no-no here. He actually did kill the Panzer IV, but he switched before we could see that happen, and now he's going after the Bishop, who suddenly popped up. He put the shell where the Bishop was. Now the Bishop's moving. He has to try and aim at it as it's on the move, and the guy's moving. Okay, we've got two tanks here in Matilda. Well, both Matildas. Fires at one of them and splashes him for 81. Okay, the other one's going deep into the valley, but he keeps changing course. He's obviously Arty aware and knows how to avoid getting hit. You have to just keep varying your course so that you throw the Arty player off. If you keep on the same course, then it's easier for us to hit you. Oh, narrowly missed him again. And he's got to the centre rock, but yes, he's stopped, and that means now he can be hit accurately, except Qipp needs to dial in fully before he shoots. Rounds out. No, that didn't work. Give it another go. Oh, enemy tank spotted over the other side of the battlefield. It's Panzer III Aslains J. Unfortunately, it's almost at maximum range, and that's why the reticule's flattened. When it becomes completely flat, it becomes a line. That's maximum range. But when you're at close to maximum range, it becomes oval. He's trying to work out where to put the shell. He fires the shell in behind the Panzer III, and he does take damage as a result, so he picks some damage assist, but this time it's on target, and it's a kill shot. Hit the engine deck, took him out. So 2 kills now. Fires a quick snapshot at an enemy tank there, hits the rock face. Snapshots don't always work, so it's not wise to do it all the time, because you need to fully dial in on the enemy if you want to get an accurate hit. Okay, that 25 TP just took out our T-34 shielded. He fires in, basically, now that was an aim shot to a certain extent, but he dialed in on the spot where he thought the 25 TP is, and he wasn't there anymore. Okay, we're 2 down on the enemy at the moment, but that could still be, we could still win. It could still change. Most of our players who are over the other side of the battlefield have died off, and now we're just defending the cap area. Oh, enemy T67 has shown up. Now you notice he's using the mouse to scroll in on the position. There is a way, a method of switching to the other spot that you want to look at straight away. All you have to do is hold the control button down, move the mouse cursor over the minimap, and right click on the spot you want to look at, and it moves the view straight away to that spot, which means you can quickly look at anywhere without having to use your mouse to scroll the reticule over. He's blind firing at the T67. There he is. He actually did come out of that dip, so he was there but didn't get the actual shot. Fires another round, pulls to one side to look, and the kill shot actually came in from the Su-76GFT, the Chinese tank destroyer. I want to say German. There's the 25 TP dying. Lovely shot. Okay, where is that Matilda? We haven't seen him for quite some while. Unfortunately, we really haven't got anybody looking in that direction except for our Matilda. But the Matilda is a reasonably slow tank. Now, Qipp's decided to change position. There is an enemy Arty in this game, of course, the Bishop and an M41 HMC. And we do have a fellow Arty on our team as well, which is also an Su-122A. Okay, he's aiming at our Matilda at the moment, but we can't hit the other Matilda because the rock's in the way. And boy, did that our Matilda just took a massive hit from the M41. How do I know it was the M41? Well, I'm guessing it's the M41. I think he did get stunned and he's pulling back now. He's only got 1 hit point, which makes him a one-shot. It might be that the Bishop moved into the middle of the battlefield, though. Mind you, if it was the Bishop, he wouldn't have had any stun. Okay, he's going for the Matilda. Oh, he failed, and unfortunately we lost our Matilda, and now the enemy Matilda knows that he has been dialed in on there. And there's the enemy Su-76M. Good hit, 127. Now we are a bit exposed out in the open, but he hasn't seen us yet. No, you never will see us now because he's out the game. That's the fast firing rate of this Arty. Standard reload is 8.92 seconds, but Qipp's managed to reduce that to 7.85. So all of our teammates are now over on this side of the battlefield, the east side of the battlefield. We've got the Matilda on the coming in on the cap from the west side. He's put himself behind these bushes, so that will give him a measure of concealment. He's also using binoculars, which will extend his view range. The standard view range for this Arty is, pardon me, 390 meters. But he's extended it even more. He's fully dialed in. Rounds out. Kill shot! That's a Top Gun. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough at the moment. Nice shot. It was virtually fully dialed in, but the Bishop was moving, so he had to move the reticule. But it was nicely accurate on target. This reticule's quite big. Yeah, he missed that one. And the Matilda now knows he's under fire. And the M5 Stuart's turned up. No shot there. I'd aim for this corner. They have to come around that corner if they're going to see anyone. Now, one of them might decide to go around the other side, thinking it's clear. But I don't think they will make their way to the cap, because they know that 6 cents will have gone off. And they will know that they are in sight. And there comes the M5. Oh, he left it too late to get a shot in there. And they're getting closer and closer. He has to make up his mind which side round that M5 is going to come. And I suspect he's now going to go round the other side. Matilda's making a move. Okay, now line it up to get a shot on target when he comes around the corner. The Matilda's a bigger threat than the M5 because, of course, he's got good penetration with his 2-pounder shells, whereas the M5 Stuart, well, they don't normally have any gun that's, I think it's a 37mm if I'm correct. And that doesn't have much in the way of penetration. It really depends on which gun the Stuart actually is selected. If it's the single shot one or the auto fire. Here he comes. Oh, he's got the auto fire. But look at that shot on target. Takes him out. And now the Matilda decides to come out of his hole. That one fell short. The Matilda's going to get into cover, and he does. Is he coming around this side? The Chaffee's coming up behind him. He's now trying to run from the Chaffee. Meanwhile, the other Matilda's near the cap area, and we've got the M41 nearby. We can fully dial in on him, take him out the equation. Rounds out, and he's gone. And that's a Radley Walters for Arty. Fairly rare. Okay, so we've got a Matilda near the cap. There he is, coming in. And he times that one so that the Matilda doesn't see him. And the kill shot comes in from the SU-122A. Very well done by him as well. Difficult Arty to play even with the 152mm gun. But fairly satisfying when you get a direct hit at shotgun level. And that was a sort of shotgun shot at the Matilda. Only one enemy left, the Matilda. He's hiding behind that rock. If he has any sense at all, he will return to the other side of the battlefield and try and defend his own cap. Here he comes. Now, because he went to shotgun mode, and the Matilda is getting penetrations with that 2-pounder. But there's the kill shot. 9 kills in the end for Qipp in the 105 leFH18B2. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tanker for Qipp in the 105 leFH18B2. Given that it was a Radley Walters game, he should really have had an ace tanker, but for some reason Wargaming didn't give him the ace on this occasion. Maybe the performance wasn't enough XP just to tick that barrier and get the master. Well, he did get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 21 in this game. He got more than 8 kills. In fact, he ended up with 9, just one short of getting a Pulse medal. So he ended up with a Radley Walters medal instead. And yeah, as I said during the filming, that is fairly rare because Artys don't tend to get Radley Walters or Pulse medals that often. As well as a Stark's medal for taking out 2 enemy SPGs, receiving 2 shots from the enemy, armor penetrating shots, or blocking 2 shots, but losing potentially 2/3 of your hit points and still surviving the battle. Another rare medal. Well, Arty players who've been in the game enough times will have picked up quite a few Stark's medals, but I think he got it towards the end because he approached that Matilda, got really close to him, and started blasting him, and of course the Matilda was firing back. He got a counter-battery fire medal for taking out both enemy SPGs in this game. He took out the Bishop, and he took out the, with a lovely shot in the valley. And the M41 was a fully dialed in one, whilst the M41 was aiming at one of our guys. And a lovely shot to take him. And a Top Gun as well for getting at least 6 kills. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he stands. Well, he actually earned 1,458 hit points, which actually was the highest damage in the game, but it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool, and that's why he didn't get a high caliber. The second highest damage in the game went to the VK3001H on his own team with 1,401, and the third highest damage in the game was the 25TP with 1,155. When it came to kills, he easily had the highest number. In fact, you could say he carried the stupids, because he got 9 kills, which was more than all the other members of his own team put together. And of course, that's enough for Radley Walters. And the next highest scorer was the 25 TP, managed 3 kills. 2 kills went to the M24 Chappie, the Matilda, and the SU-76 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, he's got that one as well, which means he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1035 went to Qipp, 565 went to the VK3001H on his own team, and 523 went to the SU-76 GFT, which I called a German, which actually was, of course, a Chinese tank destroyer on our own team. He fired 37 rounds in that game, 9 direct hits on the enemy, 6 penetrations as well, 11 splash, damage of 1,458 hit points, of which 1,051 were at more than 300 meters. So there was some close range shots, including that final shot on the Matilda. He received 5 hits from that Matilda during the game, all 5 penetrated, because he was using the 2-pounder, and that 2-pounder is quite nasty. It pecks you to death. 1 enemy vehicle was spotted, 11 enemy vehicles were engaged and damaged, and 9 were killed, 98 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 25,086 credits from the game, 83,815 from personal missions payout. That's holiday ops and the boosters. And after repair and ammunition resupply, took away a profit of 115,858 credits. 1,035 XP, 6,212 from personal missions payout, 621, because this is one of only 2 premium SPGs in the entire game, which is shocking really, considering that there are dozens and dozens of premium mediums, premium lights, premium heavies, premium tank destroyers. But when it comes to Arty, Wargaming have only put 2 into the game because the rest of the players, all the other tank players, are pussies. They can't put up with premium SPGs, and they're pussies because they complain like mad if we do put, or if Wargaming puts premium SPGs in the game. And that's the only reason that Wargaming doesn't put more than 2 premium SPGs in the game, the other one being the Sexton 1. So yes, the rest of the players are complete pussies because they cannot tolerate premium Arty. And a lovely total there of 8,386 experience points altogether. So that's the end of the first game, and a brilliant game by Qipp. Let's have a look at the second replay. And the second replay is on the Overlord map. And this one is by CTekk. Okay, let's see how he gets on. Now, a lot of players have had a lot of success with their Arties over the Christmas period. I think actually some players are now starting to forget that there are Arty players in the game. And occasionally they do very silly things, which makes it easy for the Arty player to take them out. Of course, the reason why so many people have left the game is due to the nerf that that Wargaming performed on Arty. But of course they didn't nerf this Arty because they couldn't. If they tried to, they would actually come up against a potential contract default. Because of course this is a premium Arty, and if you sold a premium Arty with certain specific characteristics and it lacks those characteristics, then you could of course contact the trace description people and ask them to bring an action against Wargaming for false or deceptive advertising promises. In fact, actually, for that matter, people can do that against Wargaming anyway, because of course they always do nerf premium vehicles. Rounds out in the VK, narrowly missed. It's a tier 6 game, he's tier 5 Arty, he's going to earn a bit extra SP, because every time you hit a higher tier opponent, you earn 10% more XP than you would with a standard one, same tier. That's better, he got a direct hit on the KV-1. In the previous battle, Qipp was actually playing against tier 5s, I believe, and that's why he didn't get the ace tanker. He got a first class. Lovely direct hit there. That was a penetrating shot. 427 hit points. As you recall, the shells will do 410 alpha, 53 millimeters of pen, and will burst radius of 1.91 meters. So to get a hit for 427 is a high roll on a shell, and it means a penetration. Okay, he's firing on that corner because there's an enemy tank sitting there. Couldn't see him, but he knew he was there, and the shells were hitting the target because there was no explosion. He's now going to go for the T-52, who's sitting around on the beach, not moving at all, making himself an easy target. Oh, that shell fell short, and CTekk missed out on a hit there. Rounds out on the same spot, and he's still there because he got another hit, and that's what he was firing up on the cliff top. Oh, he must have set light to the T-52 because he got an arsonist. And the T-52 is now dead. So he set light to him. And he's got his first kill. Okay, still aiming at the cliff top area. T1 heavy. A nice little target. Plenty of hit points. Gets a hit for 142. It's got heavy armor on the front of him. That's probably why it hit that time. Another hit for 111. Now, as these enemy tanks get closer to him, it'll be more difficult for him to get hits because, of course, he's down in a bit of a dip, so he's got to shoot up over the dip at the enemy vehicle. But as the enemy tank gets closer, the angle on the gun changes, and it means that the gun is angled so it hits the bank. So he might have to move to overcome that angle. Go for a kill on the Panzerfear. Go for it. Yes! And he's got another one. So 2 kills now. Okay, the VK is a one-shot. No, he was backing away at the time. Now, he probably knows he's a one-shot, and so he's trying to be careful. Stug 3 Aslains. Oh, now he did get a critical hit there, but it doesn't appear to actually get any damage. Goes for it again, and the Stug's dead before the shell arrives. The Strid is now one shot and expires before he can get his hit. Okay, we've got the OI, and yes, he's getting this problem now because the OI is too close, and he's getting a red line every now and then, and that's because there is a dip there, and he's trying to loop the shell up over his bank into the OI in the dip. Here he goes, trying to line the shots up for a leading shot. Rounds out, hits the rear for 64. He can't hit the tanks in the chine because they're in defilade at the moment. But as soon as they come out of the chine, he should be able to get hits on them. Rounds out. Didn't get it through that time, but go for it again. Side on. Yes, nice hit. 91. It's all adding up. Keep those shells pumping out. That's maximum firepower on the enemy. As soon as the shell's loaded, fire it at someone because you want to make sure that you get as much damage on the enemy as you can. There's a KV-1 shielded there. He just missed it. Okay, 2 tanks together here. Rounds out. Hits the KV-1 shielded for 103. Keep racking up the damage. Going for the OI. Another hit for 130. And he's a one-shot now. Here we go. Another kill. Rounds out. Oh, just landed short. And the kill goes to our M4A1. So he's going to go for the Skoda this time. And he definitely gets that one. In fact, I'd say that was probably a penetrating shot that took him out. KV-1 shielded. Dies before we can get the round out. There's only one enemy left. And that's a P43 that we haven't seen. So where is he? He's probably an AFK back at the enemy cap area. So CTekk has decided he's going to pre-aim in this area. And all he has to do then is quickly adjust as soon as his teammates spot where the P43's gone. If he is active, then again we'll have to scan and see ahead of where our teammates are moving. Oh, no, he is active. Okay, he's decided to hold up on this position. He's in the chine area. No, that's going to miss. because it's over the other side of the battlefield, right at the other end of the battlefield. It's very difficult to hit a target that's moving because there's a 3 to 4 second delay. In fact, as you can see on the readouts to the top left of the reticule, it says 3.2 seconds. That's the flight time for the shell. And as he's adjusting it, you can see the time is changing. Okay, can probably get a shell in there, but it's going to be a difficult one. He stops, rounds out. Oh, narrowly misses. He'll go for it again, but the target dies before his shell can leave the breach. And that's the end of the game. That was quite exciting. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for CTekk in the 105 leFH18B2. Yes, I think it was the good fortune he had of hitting higher tier opponents in this game that gave him the ace tanker. So CTekk comes away with an ace, whereas unfortunately Qipp didn't get an ace tanker. He got a first class, but he did come away with a Radley Waters instead. CTekk managed to get a bruiser medal because he hit 15 critical hits in the game. He got an arsonist because he set light to the T52 and he blew up, he set light and burned up in the end, but it was an invisible blown up because he fired the round in where the T52 was last seen, and he only got the message that the guy was dead after he'd started aiming at somebody else. He also got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team, and in this game he did get the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, at least 20% of the enemy hit points. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he stood. Well, on damage, he definitely got the highest with 2,695. The next high scorer being the VK3002M, which of course he did target and hit during that game. 1,780 hit points went to him. And the third highest damage was the T1 Heavy on his own team with 1,500 hit points. When it came to kills, it was actually the VK3002M on his own team who did the best with 4 kills. CTekk managed to get 3. And there's 3 players who managed to get 2 kills. The Type 64, the M4 Sherman, and the Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausrung H on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it was CTekk who did the best with 1,107. And I think that's probably why he managed to get the ace tanker on this occasion. 1,107 to him, 888 went to the Type 64, 789 went to the T1 heavy tank. He fired 32 rounds in this game, got 19 direct hits and 3 penetrations on the enemy, 21 splash, damage of 2,695, of which 2,224 were at more than 300 meters. So actually, a few of those tanks actually did get quite close to him, beneath the 300 meter mark. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, and he got 20 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 36,270 credits from this game, got 14,145 from personal missions payout and holiday ops, and after ammunition resupply took away a profit of 64,454 credits. 1,107 XP times 2 for the first victory, 3,322 from personal missions payout and 664 from premium vehicle tier, yes, because this is a premium vehicle, and 7,308 experience points altogether. So 2 really great games. One by CTekk with an ace tanker, one by Qipp with a Radley Waters. Potentially would have got a Pools medal if only he got a hit on one tank he fired at that the enemy, his teammates managed to kill before he did. So yeah, really great games, and it just goes to show that the 105 leFH18B2 hasn't lost any of its capability, and the players haven't lost any of their skill. But Wargaming has done its best to ruin Arty by making all the nerfs, and we're not going to stop them from doing that. We're not going to let them ruin Arty altogether, because if they do that, the game's going to become completely so much worse. So even though they've nerfed Arty, we're still hitting the enemy as hard as we ever done before, and we'll still keep earning medals because of it, because we're really good players. And it's the people who can't play Arty, or the tank drivers who hate Arty, they're the ones who are going to come out worse of it, because we're just going to put in extra effort to make sure that we hit them. I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you very much for watching.